This is division properties of exponents. Make sure to take annotations, write some stuff down. I'm also looking at the homework, so I'm looking at page 402. You might want to take some notes and some things that will help you on the homework. Also remember to take the Edmodo quiz. So there's several properties here, and I think that they make sense based on the other stuff, so make sure you're looking at these. So the first thing is, when you divide two powers by the same base, you subtract the exponents. So that should make sense, because when we were multiplying them, we added exponents. Now we're dividing them, so we subtract exponents. So here, it's C, and remember, you always do the numerator minus the denominator. So 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So we have C to the third. Another way to think about this is C to the fifth looks like this. So you could cancel these out, and you're left with C to the third, and your answer is always in the numerator. So that's something you want to write down. Numerator minus denominator, answer is in the numerator. Okay, so over here I have, go ahead and write X and Y. So for X I have 3 minus 2, which is 1. And for Y, I'm going to put this in. Remember, that has an exponent. 4 minus 1, which is 3. So X, Y to the third. You do not need to write the 1, but I'm going to do it just so there won't be any confusion. Okay, the last one. We have X, we have R, and we have Y. So for X, I have 2 minus 5. So remember, numerator minus denominator. For R, I have 4 minus negative 5. Pay attention to this one. Be careful on the negative exponents. And I will show you that again. And then for Y, I have 8 minus 2. Okay, so for X, 2 minus 5, negative 3. So that's X to the negative third. For R, I have 4 minus a negative 5. This is where you use addition of the opposite. 2 marks with your pencil. 1, 2. So it's 4 plus 5. So that's 9. And then I have Y to the sixth. So there you go. Let's look at the next thing. To find the power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator and denominator. So basically what this is like power of a power. So I'm going to remember that everything has an exponent. When I have a power outside here, I have to multiply all of those exponents. So I have 3 to the third, X to the 12th, 4 to the third. Then to simplify that, 3 to the third is 27. X to the, or 4 to the third is 64. Be very careful. Do not subtract the coefficients. This is a division problem. If you can simplify it, do that. Let's look at number 5. Make sure everything has an exponent. I'm going to multiply every power. 4 to the second, X to the sixth, 2 to the second, X to the fourth. Now I'm going to simplify even further, but I need to finish this part first. So I have 16, X to the sixth, 4, X to the fourth. Now pay attention right here. This is a common mistake. This is not 16 minus 4. It's 16 divided by 4. So it's 4. And for X, I subtract exponents. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So 4x to the second. Okay, now we're going to continue looking at anything raised to the 0 power. So anything raised to the 0 power is 1. It's not x, it's not y, it is the number 1. So this entire thing is 1 over x, y to the 5th. Now here's why. I can show you a couple examples for why that works. So these are things that you know, but if you follow the pattern, you can see this. So 4 to the second power is 16. 4 to the first power is 4. So what you can see is 16, and then I divide by 4, I get to that. So if I continue, same pattern, divide by 4, 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, now I continue the same pattern, divide by 4, 1 divided by 4 is 1/4. This is 1/16. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to know this, but this will help you see how this works. Notice that 4 to the second and 4 to the negative second, those are reciprocals. 16 and 1 over 16. 4 and 1 over 4. Okay, so you should know all these powers just by knowing it's the reciprocal. Then remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. Let's look at another example. And I'll even make it a little bit bigger. So we'll do 2 to the third is 8. This is 4, this is 2. So if I look at this, it's divide by 2, divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Divide by 2, 1/2. Divide by 2, 1/4, and that's 1/8. So you can see how the pattern works, and notice that we have reciprocals, and anything to the 0 power is 1. So let's look at number 7. We don't want to have any negative exponents. So some of our quiz questions are knowing what know about to the 0 power. So we talked about 0 power is 1. Only what's to the 0 power. This is not to the 0 power. It wasn't in parentheses. So we can change the power of something by moving it from the numerator to the denominator. We don't want to have any negative exponents in our answers. So first thing I would look at is make sure you know that this is over 1. If it's not a fraction, put a 1 underneath it so you don't get confused. I don't want to have any negative exponents. So to change this from a -4 to a +4, I move it to the denominator. And that leaves just a 1 up there. So to change something, a power from a negative to a positive, change it from numerator to denominator, or vice versa. So this is 1 over 16. Look at number 8. We don't want negative exponents. So n to the -5th has to be moved to the denominator to become +5. R to the -2nd has to be moved up. P to the 4th can stay. Okay, next, let's look at this one. So here's a quiz question. Make sure you know the difference between an exponent and a coefficient. Negative exponents, like this 3, will need to be moved. Negative coefficients, like -20, does not move. Okay, that's just a fraction. It's 5 over -20. So I'm going to leave those for now. So I know I've taken care of those, and I'm going to mark them out because when you get bigger problems, you don't want to lose track of everything. So r needs to come down here, become a positive 3. X to the 4th can stay. R to the 2nd can stay. X to the 7th can stay. And u to the negative 5 needs to come to the numerator. So I'm still not done simplifying. So next thing I want to do when I simplify is I'm going to reduce. So 5 goes into here 1 time and into here 4. 5 over 20 is 1/4. So I don't need to write the 1. For x, remember when you're dividing these, you subtract exponents. So 4 minus 7. So I have x to the negative 3rd. U is fine, it stays. And r, I can combine these, so that means I add exponents r to the 5th. Now the only thing I still have to do is I don't want any negative exponents in the answer. So I need to move this down to the denominator. So I have u to the 5th over negative 4 r to the 5th x to the 3rd. So this will take some practice, so make sure you do it and look back at this video for examples. If you're looking at your homework, number 1 is just like the top. It's just like number 1 up here. Same thing with number 2. What you have to look out for is if you look at number 4, that's like numbers 9, 11. On number 6, 0 power. Number 12, 13. Make sure you remember that. You don't want to work something out that you don't have to do. And then through the other ones, there are negative exponents that you will have to change. So make sure to take the Edmodo quiz. Rewatch this if you need to.